Hey, and welcome to Matt and Jess TV. I am Matt
And
Roast.
I'm Jessica Bun Bun.
This is a new edition of Big Brother 27 live feed spoilers. This is day 52.
Mhm.
It is another eviction day. And of course, we have so much to say about what we saw on the show tonight.
Absolutely. I mean, we saw Catherine go home, one vote to keep her. Lauren, I don't think
Yeah.
any of this is really a big shocker. There was a little bit of sort of jokes between Ava and Catherine over the days that were like, oh, maybe we could find a way to sabotage the blockbuster so Kelley doesn't win. Well, whatever. She's won again. And we are going to be kind of diving into that a bit of like, can Kelley just win her way to the end? And I feel like the answer at this point is yes. And while she hasn't won every single blockbuster and we haven't seen her as HOH yet, she has won a lot of them. And after seeing the show tonight, it seems like the blockbuster is going to be yet again still in play next week. So are they actually going to be able to get her out? I mean, they even said that, oh my God, are we ever going to get Kelley out of here? And it's starting to feel like to me that they are not going to be able to get her out of there. She is going to find a way to keep winning her way to the end, but she can't win this game. Her jury management is so trash, and you have to have good jury management to be able to win this game at all. But I could see her getting much further in the game and then everyone around her being like, you know what? I don't mind taking Kelley with me because she can't win.
That's it. Like, that's exactly what I think could theoretically happen here. Because once we do get to that jury phase, like, all of a sudden a lot of other stuff goes out the window, right?
And it
like,
is coming up.
Yeah, it's very, very soon. Like, you can make this argument now, and people have made it I don't want Kelley in jury because I don't know what she's going to do. But once Kelley is for sure in jury, like, what's the point of getting rid of her at that point? She has no social game. She barely has any strategic game. Like, we'll talk a little bit at some point in this video about, like, one bit of strategizing she did that might be important over the next few days, but it really seems like her just modus operandi is, okay, I'm just going to win the blockbuster. I'll find a way to stay around, but I'm probably not going to do a whole lot else to further my chances.
Yeah, you have to make good relationships with the people who are going to vote on whether
Yes.
or not they are going to give you the money. And you have made some terrible relationship choices
know.
with people in this house. Like, no one is voting for you to get the money. It's just not going to be a thing.
No, it's not. But okay, we'll talk more about the Catherine eviction, the
Mhm.
implications for that when it comes to the game. We'll look ahead. We'll also talk a little bit here about the return of the Mastermind is another twist being set up. We've got tinfoil hats at the ready with that.
Yeah,
But
we do.
before we get into anything more there, be sure to hit that subscribe button because, yes, we still have a lot of Big Brother still to go. I mean, it is kind of crazy there are as many people left as there is, given that the finale is, it's in late September, but it's not that far away.
Yeah, I mean, today's the 28th. Happy birthday, Dad. And it is
Hey.
over on the 27th. I mean, it is less than a month away at this point.
Yeah, so like we are very, very much gearing up for that, but subscribing helps to make sure you don't miss any of our updates along the way, especially since like this season is ending at a time when Survivor and The Amazing Race featuring Big Brother players,
Yes.
they're both going to be starting up. So there's just like a very natural bridge, and we invite all of you to come across that bridge with us and keep talking about these shows.
We really appreciate everyone hitting that subscribe button this
Yes.
season. It has been phenomenal. We have just been so delighted with the growth of
I
our
know.
channel because of you guys. So thank you so much. And also, we've been getting a lot more questions about us personally because we don't really talk about ourselves that much here at the channel. We like to keep it on Big Brother and the other shows that we're doing. But you can follow our Instagram, Matt and Jess TV.
Yeah.
We do have a lot more like personal pictures and stuff that we talk about, stuff in our lives over there. So if you are interested in supporting us over on our Instagram, we would really appreciate that.
Yeah, thanks to those of you who have. We have a really good time over there, just as we have a good time discussing all things Big Brother with you here.
Yes.
All right, so Catherine's eviction. This is another instance here where Kelley probably knew on some level going into this, the writing was on the wall, and like she had to win this blockbuster. Like, if we are to sort of step into a time machine and look at the last 24 hours of the game.
Beep, bop, 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 boop. Okay, we are in the past.
So in the relatively recent past here, like, yeah, there were people discussing whether or not Kelley should stick around. Like, we saw that Rachel entertained the idea. Like
Yeah.
Morgan even entertained this idea
Mhm.
earlier today. Like there were talks about it. And I think some of it is maybe people were thinking, oh, we can beat Kelley at the end. But I think
Yeah.
they were probably also thinking, okay, Catherine, in theory, has the ability to get closer to some people, a skill that Kelley just does not seem to have. Like, nobody really ever seemed to be that serious about getting rid of Ava. There were these conversations, but, Rachel, Ashley, Will, and Mickey, like, I know that's not all the judges, but they at one point decided that they were all getting rid of Kelley. If Kelley found out about that, and even if she didn't, she probably knew she had to win this.
Absolutely. I mean, that is the thing of it all, right? Jury management, having those good relationships. Catherine was going to be able to figure out a way to rebuild relationships with other people, or just actually even start to talk to people that she wasn't talking to when Riley was in the house. She was going to be able to do that. She is social enough to do it.
Yeah.
Kelley has had every opportunity to do that, and she's just not capable of it. So Kelley, if I was in the house, Kelley is someone I would absolutely want to take to the end because I'm going to beat her 100%.
Yeah.
But at the same time, me as a viewer, I just don't want to see Kelley anymore. She's not entertaining TV.
No, she's really not. Like, for the first week or two, I was like, okay, maybe this person can be fascinating. She's trying to play like Tucker, and Tucker was amazing television. But this is the problem, is that Kelley is like a 5% imitation Tucker, where she doesn't do anything else that Tucker does. She just volunteers to go on the block and play the
I
blockbuster.
mean, she's just such a bad player.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of bad players this season, but she is truly the worst.
Yeah, like she just doesn't have much of a game outside of all this. And even when she does campaign, like her reads are so unbelievably bad. And, we saw this over the past couple of days with her trying to talk about things, telling Rachel she admires big moves, but then talking about Mickey getting rid of Jimmy, Rachel's top ally at that point. It's just, there's this cognitive dissonance in her head where she doesn't think about how others are going to react to the thing that she's saying, whether it's that or whether it's talking about people behind their backs without like that social equity of knowing that, okay, this person's not going to go and run this back to other people.
Yes.
And then with Catherine, yeah, you touched on this, and we even saw this over the past couple of days here, where Catherine and Lauren already had a little bit of a bond, but
Yes.
then there was a possibility that those two and Ava could end up kind of working something out here and get a little bit of a larger alliance going.
Yeah, because they were talking about that and they were looking to move forward with stuff like that. So Catherine just feels like somebody who was going to be able to bounce back after Riley's gone, to be able to start moving through the game a little bit better and building those connections better.
Yeah, a part of me wanted to see Catherine stay a little bit longer. Like, I did want to see her stay over Kelley. Like, I'll be honest with that. It's just Kelley's the same thing every single week. Like, Catherine, like, there are parts of her game, even still without Riley, that I was disappointed about. Like, she did
Yes.
talk about things personally when it comes to Rachel that I thought was disappointing. But
It's really weird this season, especially when
yeah,
it comes to like personal stuff, people like attacking people's families and friends and children. So much of it has been directed towards Rachel by multiple people.
yeah, it has. And it's just something I don't know if it's jealousy. I don't know if it's just this person's a big target. Like, we've seen this time and time again, even in our comments, a lot of people being frustrated and being like, why is Rachel not going on the block? Why aren't people targeting Rachel? And I think it's a couple of different things. It's one, Rachel's very good at being influential and telling people the right
Yes.
thing when they need to hear it, but she's also fostered this culture of fear in the game where it is, if Rachel goes on the block, is she going to fly off the handle? Is she going to burn your game? Because it's like, if you're putting Rachel on the block, you're putting her on the block to go, like, for sure, if she doesn't win the blockbuster. And like, that's just not a chance people are willing to take. Like, I think that's a part of why Vince didn't end up putting her on.
And she's a huge target. So you can keep her around a little bit longer to be able to always sort of have her floated out there as somebody that they would be able to use if they needed to use her. It's still surprising to me that she has not hit that block once already.
No, and I it's all a question now. Like, okay, well then who's gonna do it? Who's gonna take that chance? Because you look at the board right now. So we've got a situation where Rachel's obviously got the Judges Alliance, and that is sort of her primary core. I mean, Vince for the time being, seems to be loyal to that. And I think Rachel is going to pay that back for a couple of weeks. I think in a few weeks, they probably will turn on each other.
And they should. I mean, they can't go to the end together, but they can last a couple more weeks and start taking out some of the other numbers, make it a lot weaker before turning on each other. There's no reason to do it just yet.
And Rachel also seemingly has Keanu question mark that she still
Sure.
yeah, there's no update in the Keanu soap opera. So for now, I'm assuming they're going to be okay, but she is pretty
You're
insulated.
so positive.
Okay, listen, it's a lot of it has just come down to the fact that I love people this season who are all on different sides of the house, and this is very weird for the two of us. Usually we end up having people who are all kind of in the same alliance, but I like Keanu, even
Me
though I
too, so
shouldn't.
much.
I really, really like Rachel. I've liked Rachel for a long time. And it's just because of that fondness, I want to see it work. And I also feel like it's beneficial for their game. Then, Keanu can't just keep running back to Vince, and he can't just keep sabotaging himself this way. I want to think.
Well, he can, but he
Okay,
won't
well,
win.
I've already said I am going to be heartbroken about this, but I've already been sucked back in. But really, it's interesting that she did win the blockbuster, but it feels like one of the people who is most likely to go after Rachel now is going to be Kelley, because like Kelley, her whole last minute campaign, even today, was okay, I'm just going to throw Rachel under the bus as many times as I can. I'm going to make it clear I'm going after Rachel. You need somebody to go after Rachel. I'm your person. I can try to make this work for you. And since, as we pointed out, Kelley can win competitions, hasn't won
Yep.
HOH yet, but we never know what the HOH is going to be. Sometimes they
No.
are a little bit random. I mean, given her history, it could be a flight simulator. Like, she's going to have a chance in order to win something.
She's won a ton of blockbusters. I think it's like we can't look at it as just she can only win blockbusters. I think if she's capable of winning that, they're all different games and puzzles and whatever. She's going to be able to win something else. She's capable of it.
Yeah.
And it would be very interesting to see what she does, because I do think that she will put up Rachel, she'll put up Vince.
Yeah, like the only other person, if I'm really looking at it right now in the house, so I can say with utmost confidence, they would probably target Rachel, is Lauren. And I think Lauren's whole reasoning would be that, okay, Vince clearly doesn't want to take this shot. She doesn't know about the judges. She doesn't know Vince and Rachel are working together like that. But it feels like Lauren, she doesn't really like how Rachel talks to her sometimes. I just think the big question with her is she plays so timidly that would she actually go through with it?
No, absolutely not. And I think Vince would be able to talk her out of it. I don't think she would take that shot. I think truly it's what you said, that Kelley is the only person that is really going to take that shot right now. I think, there's a possibility that Mickey will, but I don't know if she's going to take it right now or if she might be thinking, I'll take it a little bit later.
Yeah, I think we're in this very interesting spot here where I know everyone wants to see this game be big and crazy and have like huge jaw-dropping moments. Because we're not at jury yet, and because we're dealing with a house full of people obsessed with making it to jury, or at the very least Morgan and Mickey, like, I feel like there's going to be a lot of hesitancy to make big moves into this next HOH cycle, where I really look at it and I'm like, okay, if I'm one of the judges at this point, like, what am I going to do? Okay, maybe I'm going to go after a Lauren, or maybe
Right.
I'm going to go after Lauren, Keanu, and Kelley. Like, those are going to be the 3 nominations. It's easy. Like, maybe one of them takes a risk and puts up Mickey, but even still, like, is Mickey even going to go in that scenario?
Yeah, it's hard to know. I mean, it's so weird because I'm rooting for so many people that are in the judges, but at the same time, I really want to see this HOH be someone who is not in the judges. Please, 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 please.
Okay, let's just
Chaos.
let's just do it. Let's just push the red button, because I know we're both thinking it. Keanu,
Let's go.
it is your
Let's
time.
go, King.
Because I feel like Keanu, regardless of if you're rooting for Rachel or not, I don't want to see Rachel go before jury. She just brings too much to the table.
But at the same time, I would really like to see her have to go through the fire to get to that win. I don't want to just see it that all season long, never hitting the block,
Yeah.
never having to do, anything that's getting her in real trouble.
Yeah.
Some of the best stories of when you get to the win is because you have gone through things. I know he didn't win, but like Dan's funeral,
Yes.
where you really have to put yourself out there to get out of that sticky situation to get to the end. And
Yeah.
he should have won.
If
He had better jury management,
That's
but
all-
he didn't. So Ian, you deserved your win.
Yeah, it's
I
much
said
more-
what I said.
He was much more endearing. It's taken me a long time to come to that because I did feel like, Dan got hosed for a long period of time.
And
But
he did in a lot of ways, but he didn't do his jury
no, he
management, and
didn't.
that's what happened.
No, that
I
is
love you,
true.
Dan.
I know. I love Dan too. It's just, but Rachel, yeah, she does need to go through the fire. But I think Keanu HOH is that opportunity because Keanu's going to have Kelley in one ear.
Mhm.
He's going to have Rachel in the other ear. Vince is probably going to pretend like he's his best friend again and that like nothing has ever gone wrong between the two of them.
I'm sure he will.
Like there would be a lot of different scenarios that could play out there. But like in general, Keanu, Lauren, Mickey, like Kelley, like those are the people who are in the greatest amount of danger. And like maybe Mickey could be a number one target under a couple of different scenarios, but I think it's gonna be a little bit safe moving forward.
Yeah, I just, as much as I like a lot of the people that are in the judges, I'm never really here to watch a big alliance just steamroll everybody. So it's time for the other side of the house to get the HOH and make a couple moves.
Yeah, we're team drama. We're team good TV. We want to see some really
I'm a messy bee.
Yes,
Let's go.
we all want the mess. Okay, so let's play into the real question of it here, where Ava overhears Lauren and Ashley talking, and they're having this talk about hypothetical votes, where votes could land, whether or not it's the right move to get rid of Ava. Like all this stuff is happening. It's if you're Ava now, do you think, okay, I really can't work with Lauren because of this conversation? Or do you sort of take a step back, find a way to have a more honest conversation with Lauren about it, where it feels to me like, okay, this could have been Lauren fishing for information or at least talking things out because Lauren and Ashley don't have that much of a connection. So it's just like they're probably just trying to see where each other stand. Or if you're Ava, do you really have that many choices? Because yeah, you're good socially with a lot of people, but other than Will and maybe Rachel, like strategically, your bonds aren't that strong.
Yeah, I feel like Ava is down the road going to have this conversation with Lauren, depending on who wins the HOH. Like, if Ava wins, she doesn't really need to have that conversation, and she can if she wants to, but she can have other conversations to build something else. If she's like, you know what, Lauren burned me, I'm not all right with it after all. But if somebody else is winning the HOH and she thinks she's in danger, she could just go and have that conversation and be like, hey, I know you guys thought I was asleep, but I wasn't. Let's talk about it and sort of try to find a way to work it out. It doesn't feel like it's just a done issue.
No, I think it's something they can get past. And I also feel like the fewer alliances you have in Big Brother, the more forgiving you need to be with certain situations. It's even if you have a lot of alliances, even if you're somebody like Rachel with Keanu, it's like it still benefits you to hear the person out, even if you don't really trust them 100% anymore. Okay, let's talk about this mastermind twist for a moment, because this is all they said on the show tonight, is that an insidious invitation, I can barely say the word insidious, guys, I'm sorry, but like that this is coming presumably next week here. So let's all put on our tinfoil hats for a moment. Okay, so if you do the rough estimate of the math here between how many people are left in the house right now and the fact that the finale is coming in late September, which unless CBS changes this, which I don't even know if they're really going to be able to do that, I feel like there's probably a triple eviction coming. And I hate this with every fabric of my being. I hate triple evictions. It's potentially like, let's say we have a triple eviction and Rachel and Vince goes over the course of that episode. You're like destroying half of the narrative of this season in one night.
Absolutely. I mean, I'll be honest, I've never really been a fan of double evictions, triple evictions, whatever, because there's no chance for actual gameplay. A lot of it does just feel like quick randomness of like, who can we get out? Let's get out.
Yeah.
And I like the gameplay aspect of it. I really like the social aspect of this game. It's what I watch for more than anything else.
Yeah.
So getting to miss all that, meh.
Yeah, it's sort of like we want to have a 5-course meal as opposed to just like shove everything in our mouth at once, because then it's just all going to blend together. It's not going to taste that good, and then it's just going to be done. And I don't want that triple eviction. So here's what I'm going to suggest with the mastermind, Allison Grodner, as though you haven't already figured this out. Okay. The mastermind is going to come on and he's going to twiddle his thumbs and be like, I have a deal to make with all of you. I am going to give you, I know Zach had $10,000. I'm going to give $25,000 right now to somebody who leaves the game. And maybe they're allowed to go and be on jury, but it's a way to sort of be like, okay, you know what? Maybe you don't think you have a great chance of winning this game. Maybe we want to spare people of having a triple eviction later this season, but let's just see how badly somebody really wants to be there, and kind of fitting this whole mystery theme. I actually kind of feel like it works in that.
Well, if they're going to offer that kind of money, I feel like a few people might take that much. That's a tremendous amount of money. That's
Yeah.
not just $10,000, which is also a lot of money. I mean, $25,000 can pay off people's debts.
Yeah, like that's so much money that it easily, unless you're like at the end of the game, it's better than just being a regular jury member. And I sort of feel like if you're Kelley, if you don't have great relationships with people in the house, and I know Kelly's a little bit delusional, but at the same time, like, wouldn't you take that? I think if you added to this and made it into like a live TV element where it's like, you have 1 minute to figure this out. First person who like presses the button or whatever ends up getting this money. Like that's something that generates conversation. It would be fun to get into. Like I'm sure they have other twists in mind, but I just think that that's something that's just like a really quick hit of something that's interesting.
Yeah, and we've seen this on international versions of Traders as well, where it
Mhm.
was like, all right, you're all here right now. There's $10,000 out in the field. Whoever
Yeah.
gets to it first, you can just take it and go, sort of thing. It's like it's day one, and you see, so and so, boop 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 boop, out the field and gone, and that
Yeah.
would be me.
I
I'm
would
not going to win the game, but I'll take your $10,000.
Yeah, like this is my problems. I would never even play the game, so they wouldn't even get me in. But if I'm in there and they offer me that kind of money, it's like, yeah, sure. Why wouldn't they? I just hope whatever this is, they don't just like rest on their laurels and do something that we've seen not that far ago in the past. Like I
Right.
know some people like Janky last season, and some people like the idea of a split house, or let's move everyone outside. It's just like I don't want to reheat the nachos of something that was just on the show previously. And I
Yeah.
think you kind of want to do something that's fitting the theme here. And given that we haven't seen this mastermind for a pretty long while now,
I thought it was over, honestly.
no,
Like, we're past 50 days, and I'm just like, this guy's still around? Like, you guys have just like left this for so long now. I had completely forgotten about it.
you know what it reminds me of now that you mention that? In Big Brother 17, they did the BB takeover thing
Yes.
where we had like Gronk week and Gronk's like on the loudspeaker. And then I think after Gronk week, everybody was like, okay, this is the worst twist ever. We're just going to pretend like we never did
Yes.
this, never speak of it. But no, I hope that that's really interesting. I do like a late twist so long as it's not like completely upsetting the balance of power in the game. You got to kind of try to make it reasonably fair.
Yeah, and especially since, yeah, we have the Judges Alliance, but there are still some numbers on the other side of the house. There could just be a good back and forth and back and forth. I don't need the doubles and triples to come in and just ruin the gameplay.
No, like that's just not that enticing to me. But okay, the last thing I want to say here, and while I did want Kelley to leave this game, like I've been pretty honest about that, and I know you have as well.
Absolutely.
I am glad that Catherine is gone because we don't have to listen to one of these interviews with Julie again that just feels so out of touch with like the rest of the country. It's just like I think Julie's actually done a pretty good job this season
Mhm.
with like the senses of humor, like the comments with Will, like a lot of this various stuff, even the big, Ashley trying to go back into the diary room. But I found these interviews the last 2 weeks to be just really boring and pretty bad, and I'm just glad they're done.
Yeah, I mean, who out there is surprised that Catherine said that she was into her relationship with
Yes.
Riley? She is interested in going to see what's there. I mean, I feel like we all felt that's where it was going. And this is the thing about it is like, if you're going to go on Big Brother, of
Yeah.
course you're going to go there for the money, but you're also going there for some fame and to
Yeah.
maybe get Instagram followers. And everybody knows that couples from any reality
Yes.
show get way more followers than just yourself. It's just the way that it is. People want to root for love. People love love. And even when it's love that people are like, oh, this doesn't seem great,
No.
they will still end up having their followers and people who will follow them because of their relationship.
No, it's true. I think the other thing I didn't like was the way that Julie phrased that question where she said to Catherine, there are people out there that think that you're not as interested in Riley as Riley is interested in you. And, because you have to remember, again, she doesn't know what's going on in the outside
No.
world with Riley. Like that question could easily be taken, it could be interpreted as, Catherine, were you taking advantage of this
Right.
guy who was really into you and you were just playing along? And maybe Julie framed this in a way that made Catherine feel like, oh, people don't like me because I wasn't
Right.
nice enough. And it's just like, it was just bad and out of touch. And I'm glad all this is over, because the show was never going to present an accurate narrative on all of this. So we can just say goodbye to all of that and focus on the rest of the game.
Yeah, she did word it in a way that even when I was hearing her wording it, if I didn't know what was going on and I
Yeah.
was Catherine, I would think that maybe people think that I was using him and leading him on and that I didn't really like him and that I was doing this devious thing to this person who had genuine feelings. That's what it came across
Yes.
like.
It wasn't good. So Julie, get it together for the rest of the season. I feel like you're going to be fine. You were great the rest of the season.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that is where we are with this edition of Big Brother 27 live feed spoilers. Like, let us know in the comments, how are you feeling about Catherine leaving the game tonight? Would you have rather it been Kelley? I don't know if there's a lot of people who would have rather it been Ava, but let us know in the comments. And of course, hit that subscribe button for more Big Brother 27, and you can support us further by joining our Patreon. We have a link in the description below. We're talking more about Big Brother there. Thank you so much. We will see you here next time.